Is Monstuck dead? Well, the short answer is yes. But if you care about the long answer, okay, watch through the video. Let's get straight into it. So, I've been streaming for like 90 days straight now. The question that is mostly asked by most people on stream is Monstuck dead? And should I learn Monstuck? Should I continue doing Monstuck? Now, for you guys who don't even know what Monstuck is, Monstuck stands for MongoDB for the M, Express for the E, React for the R, and Node.js for the N. But there's always two sides to the story, right? So the short answer is yes, Monstuck is dead. Depends on what you're asking, okay? The long answer is it depends. Now, let's look at the relevant reasons why somebody might say Monstuck is dead, okay? But putting it as Monstuck as a whole is like we're doing it a disservice. But if we're just selecting only Node.js for the backend itself, obviously React is the king of frontend. We're not just gonna sugarcoat it. React is not gonna die anytime soon. Neither is Node.js. But there are some aspects where some improvements might decide between like whether we should go with a certain language over the other. So let's get straight into it. Now, if you can look at availability or available jobs versus competition. So this is if you search on Indeed and say Monstuck developer or Monstuck developer jobs, or if you go to LinkedIn and say Monstuck developer jobs, you find there are over 10,000 jobs. Well, 10,000 jobs, but there are 23,000 people applying for that exact job. So what are the likeliness, or what's the likelihood of you getting that job, of you being the lucky person out of 23,000 people? It's close to zero. And if we go to developer experience, now let's continue with the availability and competition. The reason is anybody right now and their mother is literally doing Monstuck. Every single person, including me, I'm still doing Monstuck, but I'm trying to shift into something that I'll tell you like as we keep going through the video. So as you can see, the competition is very high, and therefore people will just apply for the jobs and not get the job, and then they'll say it's dead. Okay, that's just it. Now the other thing is developer experience. Now this DX or developer experience stands for how you are satisfied as a developer as you're building using that tech stack, right? So I can tell you this, like straightforward, if you're just building using regular Node.js or with Express with regular JavaScript without TypeScript, my brother, what are you doing with your life, bro? What are you doing? That's if you are very keen with bugs. But even despite that, nobody is gonna hire you to like work for their company if you don't know TypeScript. So that's again an overhead. Rather than just learning Monstuck like as just plain Monstuck, you will also be required to learn a new type self language, which is like TypeScript. So you might as well just continue with the language that is already having types without you having to suffer again with TypeScript. So I don't know, if you really want to go with TypeScript, go ahead and do it. So developer experience must also it will also like, you know, determine if that language is that stack is dead or not. So another thing is salaries. Well, this is from Glassdoor. It's not like numbers that I came up with. These are salaries on Glassdoor. So for Monstuck developers, you get from 63k to 113k. This is for US though, like for people in the United States. People like me who are in the United States, none of our business, right? Because either way, we're still gonna get underpaid regardless. But the good thing is, if you get a remote job, like a company is in the US and you're remote, like where I'm at right now, and you're getting paid this, even the lowest point of it, which is 63k per year, is way too enough. But if I was in the US, in some places like Seattle or maybe New York City or some like crazy cities, this money is not gonna cut it. So that might determine if you want to continue doing the Monstuck or not. The next thing is the speed of Node.js. Now this is the biggest thing. I can put that on everything, right? Node.js is slower than most of the languages out there. Not to say Python, because I think Node.js is faster than Python, but regardless, Node.js is slow. The reason is it's single threaded. Now don't quote me wrong on that, because being single threaded doesn't make it slower. Okay, single threaded that means it runs on one single thread. And if you have, like, let's say concurrent apps that require you to run them on concurrently, that will not be supported. Therefore, it will make you ditch Monster. You feel me? That's the only thing. Like, performance wise, it is single threaded, so you might as well just dump it. Now the last thing is npm and external dependencies. And if you've been keeping up of recent, you'd have come across people talking about npm getting hacked and npm having people hacking npm packages and just adding random things to steal people's money and bitcoin and all that stuff. That is all because of npm. Well, that's not to say npm is entirely bad, but at the same time, if your application depends on like crazy external dependencies, you are at risk of literally paying, like, you get it, the price of if anything breaks out. So yeah, I feel like external dependencies, like, because right now, let me just show you. If you go to like a regular express app, you see, like, let's go to dependencies in a minute. You see we have a gazillion number of dependencies, although this is just like a small example. But in a production ready application, you'll have like 1,000 dependencies that you will have to deal with, right? So that might also determine, you ditching Monster or not. And then the last thing is, when we're speaking about the schema, because if we're talking about MongoDB, it has flexible schema, which is something good and modern. But at the same time, not every application needs flexible schemas. And when you go through the rabbit hole of building like a crazy big application, you reach to a point where you are now building spaghetti models, because you have models everywhere. Like, you have models everywhere, which is like a big problem. I don't know. It depends on you anyway. So what are the alternatives? And now I can tell you my alternative going forward, because I've been using Monster for now 90 days straight, right? But I'm thinking about switching, and I started today on stream. If you want to watch the video, you can go watch it on the live, and you can join the live. I always stream like almost every single day. You can join the live as well. So the alternative that I want to try out is PNG. Now, what is PNG? This is Postgres, Next.js, and Golang. Yes, Golang, it's a flashy language. It's a new language developed by Google and all that stuff. Like, some people, not everybody gonna like it. At the end of the day, not everybody gonna like it. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I like Golang. So if you do not like it, it's on you. I just started teaching myself today from scratch. But teaching myself is not gonna be enough, so I might as well just take some I think I might watch some videos here and there. So yeah, I might have to yeah. So let's go to the relevant reasons now. If you compare them to like this availability of jobs and all that stuff, you see that the competition and availability of jobs versus a competition, like, there are like 4,000 jobs, right, for Golang, right? Just Golang developers. And the people that are competing for it, as you might see, like 4,000 jobs, but then it's like 2,000 people applying. You can see, like, there are more jobs, but there are not enough people building in Golang, right? Which is interesting, because then you have at least a market fit. You have somewhere to try your luck. You feel me? As compared to 23,000 people applying for 10,000 jobs. You get, so regular month, man, like, you have a chance standing out. So you might try that out. And the next thing is developer experience. Obviously, bro, Golang is fully typed, is literally a very, very strictly typed language. Okay, you cannot go anywhere with it. But I feel like here you can just just add on top of Monster like TypeScript, right? TypeScript, and then you will have, like, some type safety. But I don't know. I feel like this PNG is like literally the best stack that you can go with. You can never go wrong with that. And yeah, developer experience, I already talked about it. Now salaries, you can tell us, like, okay, these numbers are close to each other. It's not really that bad. This according to Glassdoor, though. You can always check on LinkedIn and see how much, but at the end of the day, salaries, if you're just starting out, though, salaries shouldn't be your biggest, like, turning point. Because I feel like if you really want to stand out, you need to be able to, like, at least get a job, so that you can keep applying for other jobs and negotiate your way through. So salary shouldn't be your bottleneck. And then now the speed of Go, obviously we all know, like, Go is compiled direct to machine code. and there is no excuse me, there's no telling like how fast the Golang is, because it's super fast. And it's obviously used in microservices like Kubernetes and things like Docker and all that stuff. If you want to do microservices just like me, go with Golang. So I'm teaching myself Golang. And the next thing is NPM and external dependencies. I really don't know if Golang doesn't have anything called NPM, okay? Because this is not package manager. Obviously, I don't know why I called this not NPM, but I should have called it external dependencies. Obviously, Golang has some things that, okay, external dependencies, like you might install things direct from GitHub and all that, but all things are inbuilt within. Like if you need like HTTP requests, you can get like the standard library, which is net/HTTP and all that. So most of the things are inbuilt inside Go. And then the performance is concurrency. Obviously, that's where Golang shines. So you can have concurrency using Go routines and channels, and strict schema as well when you're using Postgres, right? It has this strict schema, which is something that most people like to hate. I don't know, because your favorite applications have strict schemas, relations. Like, you know, a table of users is related to a table of like posts and all that stuff. So I really don't know, bro. So I feel like it depends on you at the end of the day, and how you can cope. I feel like MERN stack is easy to understand and learn, but going to like switch into a different language like Golang might take you some time, but it's worth the switch according to me. So that's my take on that. And if you want to know more, my brothers, go ahead and subscribe, like, do whatever you want to do, man. See you tomorrow. Let's get it.